Hello, it's elderflower season and we're going to use these to make wine. Hello, welcome to English Country Life, welcome to the garden on a glorious day. It's elderflower season, often thought of as the taste of English summer, and we've been asked a lot about making country wines. So what we're going to do in this new series is to walk through how we make elderflower wine, and we'll do it step by step so that anyone who wants to can brew along with us. Today's episode is going to be about how we make the must, which is the flavoured liquid we brew the wine from. When you select blossoms for harvest, look for ones like this, clean white, with no brown parts showing they're going over, but that have mostly opened so that you'll get the full benefit of the scent. When you cut the flowers, hold them in one hand without crushing and cut them low down with secateurs or scissors. And put them into something open like a basket or a box. Don't crush them up in a bag because that'll damage them and bruise them and actually begin to destroy that scent, which is very delicate, that you're trying to get into the wine. For every gallon of wine, you're going to want a pint or 500 ml of trimmed blossoms. And by trimmed, I just mean take a sharp pair of scissors and cut off the big woody lumps of stem. You just want the light, delicate flower flavours here. And I'll give quantities to make up 1 gallon of wine all through this recipe. The next thing I add is about 100 grams of raisins. Flower wines can taste very thin. They have a lovely scent but not much body. And if you add some coarsely chopped raisins, that will give what's called vinosity, a nice thick body to the wine that carries the flavours. On top of that, for every gallon or demijohn, the rind of 1 lemon. That gives us some middle notes, gives us a little citrusy zing, which just cuts up the over-perfumed taste that you can get with some elderflower wine. It's not absolutely necessary, but one thing we do need in this recipe is a little bit of acid, because yeast requires acid. So we're going to take the juice of that 1 lemon for each demijohn, and in my view, if we're going to take the juice of a lemon, let's use that zest as well. Let's not waste it, so that we get some really light top floral notes from the elderflower, some citrusy zing from the juice and the rind of the lemon, and some nice body from the raisins. And just as a thought, don't forget, do pass your lemon juice through a sieve or a colander just to get rid of the pips and the nasty little pulpy stuff. We don't want that in the mix. Now, we're going to have to brew, so what we need is a clean vessel to do it. Don't fall for the hype about sterilisation. Just get some plain unscented household bleach and give a good glug of it in your bucket. Fill it with water, leave it for 20 minutes, empty and rinse it twice. That is totally sterile. Once you've done that, let's put in the ingredients. I'm making 2 demijohns, so a litre of flowers, followed by 200 grams of coarsely chopped raisins, and then we'll add to that the zest and the juice of 2 lemons, and that'll basically make 2 gallons of wine, which equates to 12 bottles, or a full case if you want to think of it in that way. Then we need to make it up to the 2 gallon mark with boiling water. You just keep boiling the kettle for this. I've never found an easier way of doing it. Finally, give the whole thing a good stir, and then it needs to sit for 4 days. Give it a stir every day, and that will just infuse those flavours into the water. And at the end of that, we'll strain out the solid matter, but we'll look at that in the next video. that was part one. We've now got a flavoured must, a liquid that we can begin the fermentation process with in part two. And in part two, we'll look at straining off all the solids and adding other ingredients that we need to add to get the fermentation to start. If this sort of content's interesting to you, please give us a thumbs up below. Leave us a comment to say what other kinds of wines you remember or you'd like to try, and we'll do a video on those as well. Part two will be coming shortly because we're going to ensure that you're kept up to date. If you want to brew along with us, these parts will come quickly and you'll be able to keep up with the process. So if you want to know about that one, click the subscribe icon and hit the little bell notify, and you'll find out as soon as we post the update. We love to hang out with you. Thanks for being here today. Come back and see us soon. Take care.